I guess it's almost lunchtime. Thank you all for being here today. My name is Christina Spratt, and I am the president of the Burbank Police Foundation. Welcome to our 5th annual Burbank Police Awards Luncheon. Today we get to honor the outstanding achievements of our very own Burbank police officers, volunteers, and community members who have gone above and beyond the call of duty. First, I'd like to ask Sergeant Derek Green to join me on stage. We are going to have a special presentation by the Emerald Society, who's lining up, followed by the presentation of colors by the Burbank Police Honor Guard, the Pledge of Allegiance, and an invocation. Please stand.
Left, right. Detail. Halt. Quick. Freeze zone. Halt.
Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance by placing your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Mark time. Mark. Left. 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 Forward. Mark. Left. Left.
always gives me chills. You may be seated. Thank you. Yes, round of applause. Okay. Now, if I could ask Burbank Police Chaplain Father David Bedrosian to come up. Sorry.
It feels good being here, not on stage with you. If we can close our eyes, accept Ross. Lord, we once again thank you for this opportunity to gather us here. We give thanks for the blessings that this department has received, for its leaders and for its membership, but most of all for its spirit. Lord, may everything that we do begin with your inspiration and continue with your help, so that all our work may begin in you and for your glory. Lord, guide us as we protect those you love. Help us to serve those that are in danger. They are defenseless, and the ones that are hopeless. Guide us and each police officer and protect us as we serve your people. Grant us wisdom to see beyond the superficial in situations. Father, we ask your help. Help us to be people of honor and dignity, that we would be above reproach in all facets of life. Gracious Lord, bless the food we receive now as nourishment for our bodies, minds, and souls, and give us grateful hearts for all your mercies, and make us mindful of the needs of others. We ask this in your holy name. Amen. Bon appetit.
Great, thank you very much, Father. Okay, before we get to the awards presentation, I just want to say a few words about the Burbank Police Foundation for those of you who may be new to town or new to our organization or just wondering who the heck I am. The Burbank Police Foundation is a community-based nonprofit group that works to support the police department through advocacy and fundraising efforts. In addition to this luncheon, we do community outreach. Some of you may have seen us or may have attended our Family Fun Day event, or seen us at National Night Out or Police and Fire Services Day. We also raise money for the Downed Officers Fund, which grants money to the families of those tragically lost in the line of duty, and pay for officer representatives to travel to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial each year. We ensure fallen Burbank police officer Matthew Pavelka's legacy lives on through the scholarship fund started by his family and named in his honor. We purchase supplies and supplement the department's budget when faced with unbudgeted expenses. We partner with our local schools to implement programs aimed at preventing driving distracted or under the influence, and with our residents and local business partners to create strong relationships between the Burbank PD and the community it serves. But we are only able to do what we do because of you, the Burbank community. You've heard the proverbial saying, it takes a village. Well, Burbank is our village. It's my village. As a lifelong resident who now works and is raising a family here, Burbank is my home. I have 4 generations of family here, lifelong friends, and a rewarding career. And if I may, I'd just like to take a quick moment to thank them, my family, some of whom is here today, and my employer, Worth Real Estate Group, you know where your table is, whose dedication to this community is genuine. Without your support, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. But the reason we're here today is for the men and women of the Burbank Police Department, and to you I offer my sincerest gratitude. Thank you for keeping our village safe. We are here today to celebrate you. I'd also like to introduce very quickly my esteemed colleagues and fellow directors of the board. If you could just stand when I call your name. I know everyone's always resistant to this part, but please stand for the Burbank Police Foundation Board of Directors. Anita Hutchinson, my president-elect. And if we can hold our applause. I know everyone loves Anita. We can hold our applause till the end. I know everyone wants to get back to work. Brian Slaughter, secretary, could not be with us today. Doug Smith, I believe, is here. Michael Hastings, immediate past president and co-founder of the Burbank Police Foundation. Captain Dennis Kremens, Linda Gregorian, Burbank Police Chief Scott Lachaz, Lieutenant Claudio Lazzacco, Lawrence Nelson, Larry I don't believe is here either, Lieutenant J.J. Puglisi, Rick Warmack, and Salvador Corona. We can have a quick round of applause for my team. It's my team. Thank you for all you do. And next, I would like to welcome to the podium Burbank Police Chief Scott Lachaz, who has a few words of his own to say.
All right, good afternoon. So, one of the hallmarks that's been established for this organization is, number one, to have a dignified, professional presentation and afternoon, but also to be time efficient. So that being the case, you're not going to hear too much from me, just the good stuff. So what I want to do is thank all members of the Burbank Police Department and folks that are associated with the Burbank Police Department. This is all about you and what you've done for the community. And I also want to congratulate the community for the support that we get. We wouldn't be as successful as we are if we didn't have that true partnership. Additionally, I want to extend our gratitude to the staff from the Burbank Police Department that was responsible for putting this event together, our committed volunteers, the BPOA, again, our board members, and then Christina Spratt has stepped up. This is her first year as president. She's going to do a remarkable job, just like Michael Hastings did for the past several years. So let's give them a round of applause. And also, it's truly heartwarming to have financial support from the community. So as you look through your program, you're going to see all those people that made contributions. And that's truly a great part of what Burbank does. It's not just the support we get for our good deeds, but it's the financial support. You heard Christina delineate the myriad of activities that we get involved in, and they're all very noble. So on behalf of the foundation, on behalf of the police department, I want to congratulate all of our sponsors. And just a few words about how we've grown over the years. We accepted several years ago input from the department in terms of where we wanted to go as an organization. So number one, we started with a strategic plan. As a part of that strategic plan, we identified the establishment of a foundation that would really help coalesce the department with the community. We wanted to establish an honor guard. We wanted to establish a chaplaincy program, and Father Bedrosian, that was up here previously, is a part of that chaplaincy program. And then we wanted to, as the foundation was established, have a luncheon such as this, and all of those things have been realized in a very short period of time. But it was all about, from bottoms up in the organization, of where the folks, sworn and civilian, wanted to take the organization in the future. So you're going to see a lot of awards today, but one of the most gratifying awards involves sworn personnel working with civilian personnel, working with our committed volunteers, as well as people from other city departments, which is a great force multiplier. But it's so heartwarming for me to see people from very diverse disciplines get together for the betterment of our city. In the program, you're going to see a memorial statement about Glenn Bell, who was a former chief. He was the chief between 1982 and 1990. He died earlier this year, and some of us went to his services up in Arroyo Grande. But he was the chief at a time when there was a huge transition in law enforcement, and he has to be credited with what he did. And that was, we had a lot of emerging technology. He embraced that whole concept of emerging technology. That's when computers were onboarded. and we got much more sophisticated in terms of using that technology to dispatch radio cars. He was also instrumental in the department's air support program, which was really a great, great thing. So again, that's a tribute to a chief who was very important in establishing a foundation upon which we could build in the city of Burbank to have a better police department in a better community. I'd also like to acknowledge the Glendale Police Department. Chief Carl Provolitis is here today. He's got some of his staff members. But when you work departments our size, there's a force multiplier effect when we mutually support one another. That's why you periodically see Glendale police cars in Burbank, Burbank police cars in Glendale. We have a combined air support unit. Our dogs are going back and forth all the time. That gives us truly 24/7 coverage. But again, it's with heartfelt thanks that we have a neighboring partner such as Glendale. So on the last page of your program, you're going to see something about the city of Burbank. It's the mission statement and core values. And I want to read that just because not everybody goes through the program, because it's very important in terms of who and what we are all about. But the mission statement, the core values, was not a top to the bottom effort. It was a bottom to the top effort of what do you want us to be defined as. So I was very gratified with what the final work product was, and let me read that to you. Mission statement. Our mission is to protect life and property, provide professional police services, and work in partnership with the community. The core values. Respect. And the brief narrative there is protect the rights and dignity of all people as determined by the United States Constitution and the laws of the state of California. Integrity. That's commitment to ethical behavior in the acceptance of individual responsibility and accountability for all our actions and decisions. And then excellence, quality through continuous improvement. So you will see the respect, integrity, and excellence printed on the side of our cars. That's what we are truly about. We want to render professional services at all time. We are a 24/7 agency, but all of our people strive to live by the mission statement, abide by the core values. So let's give everybody a big hand from the Burbank Police Department. It's all yours, Christina.
Thank you, Chief. Okay, next I'd like to call up a man who needs no introduction, but Mr. Michael Cusimano. Cusimano Real Estate Group is our Chief Circle sponsor this year and one of our biggest supporters, and we are very grateful for that, but I've asked him to say a few words.
Thank you, Christina. I'll be brief this afternoon because this afternoon is really about the men and women of the Burbank Police Department. It's certainly an honor to stand before so many of our finest here today, and we are proud to have been your presenting sponsor from the beginning. But really, this event is truly about you and your commitment to serve. All of us, residents and businesses, are the beneficiary of the dedication that you demonstrate every day on the job. We are not only fortunate enough to live and work in one of the safest cities in the region, but are served by a force that is an integral part of the fabric of our community. So rather than listen to me, I would much rather hear about all of you and the great work that you've done for us in the community over the past year. So on behalf of the Cusimano Real Estate Group and the Cusimano family, please accept a heartfelt thank you.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you to the entire Cusimano family and real estate group for your awe-inspiring devotion to the Burbank community. That being said, we are almost on to the awards presentation, but first I need to recognize some of our distinguished guests that are here with us today. As I call your name, please stand, but again, please hold your applause until the end. I have quite a list. So, we have from the City of Burbank, Mayor Emily Gable-Letty, And Vice Mayor Sharon Springer, Councilmember Bob Frutos, Councilmember Timothy Murphy. I don't see anybody standing. I remember this from last time. Oh, there they are. Okay. Thank you. We have City Treasurer Debbie Kukta, City Clerk Zizette Mullins, City Attorney Amy Albano, Senior Assistant City Attorney Joseph McDougall, Assistant City Attorney Daniel Langman, hope I said that right, Community Development Director Patrick Prescott, Burbank Public Library Service Director Elizabeth Goldman, Parks and Recreation Director Judy Wilkie, and Chief Information Officer Kevin Gray, if I didn't miss anybody. We have today with us former Mayor Michael Hastings and retired Burbank Police Captains Janice Lowers and Ron Caruso. It's with the Emerald Society. We have Burbank Police Commissioners Mike Chapman, Bob Cohen, Hagope Hergelian, and Elise Stearns-Neeson, as well as former Police Commissioners Nat Rubenfeld and Rick Wormack. We have Burbank Unified School District Superintendent Dr. Matt Hill with us today, as well as Burbank Unified School District Board members Steve Frittner and Shar Tabbitt. We also have joining us from the Glendale Police Department, Glendale Chief Carl Povolitis, Captain Tim Feely, Captain Scott Bickle, Commander Cheryl Davis Moore, Sergeant Dan Suttles, and Public Safety Business Specialist Lucine Yarian. That was quite a list. Thank you all for being here. Let's give everybody a round of applause. You may be seated. Okay, we are also pleased to partner with our county, state, and federal elected officials today who have provided each honoree with a beautiful certificate of recognition for a job well done. Please join me in recognizing U.S. Congressman Honorable Adam Schiff, who could not be with us today, but we appreciate his partnership. State Senator, the Honorable Anthony J. Portantino, and attending on his behalf is Arda Chakian, State Assembly Member, the Honorable Laura Friedman, attending on her behalf, Maria Azilazian, LA County Board of Supervisors, Honorable Catherine Barger, who I believe is in attendance. I don't know where. You can stand up. Apologies, I forgot where your table was. And U.S. Representative Brad Sherman. Thank you all for your contribution and for being with us here today. Round of applause. And last but certainly not least, I would like to take a moment to highlight the tremendous community support we have received. To the residents and businesses that sponsored us today and who support us throughout the year, thank you. None of what we do would be possible without your generosity. So that being said, you may now enjoy your lunch, and we will begin the awards portion shortly. Thank you. Okay, we are going to get started. I hope you all enjoyed your lunch. I'm going to bring up here again with us this year as our Master of Ceremonies is longtime Burbank resident, Mr. Jim Roop. Jim is an accomplished, award-winning broadcaster, voiceover artist, actor, host, and MC. Currently, he is a Los Angeles radio correspondent for Westwood One News, and his award-winning radio career includes WKRC in Cincinnati, KGIL, KRLA, KFWB, and KNX in Los Angeles, and his work on the West Coast Radio News correspondent for CNN. Jim started his career as a disc jockey, but his natural curiosity directed him to news. He has won 14 Golden Mike Awards from the Radio and Television News Association of Southern California, as well as he has as well been honored nationally with 2 Peabody Awards and 2 Edward R. Murrow Awards for excellence in broadcasting. Jim, a husband and father of 3, is also an ordained deacon in the Catholic Church, serving the people at St. Francis Xavier here in Burbank. Sorry, one more line. Standing behind me, we appreciate you taking your time away from your job as a radio correspondent, Jim. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Jim Roop.
Listening to her reminds me, I've been fired from some of the greatest radio stations in Los Angeles. Man. Thank you very much. It's great to be here again. I just want to tell you a quick story that I heard. There was an officer who pulled someone over on Glen Oaks the other night. Not that they were doing anything wrong, but they had a tail light out or something. So she was just going to pull him over just to tell him he needs to get that taken care of. And she noticed in the back seat of the car a bunch of machetes. And so, of course, she asked the question, "Sir, why do you have all those machetes in your back seat?" And he said, "Well, I'm a juggler. I work for a circus." She said, "Prove it." So he gets out of the car and stands in front of her radio car and begins to juggle. First 2, then 3, then all 5 machetes he's juggling. Another car drives by with a husband and wife in it. And the wife says to the husband, "You have to stop drinking. Look what they're making them do at the field sobriety test now." I like to prove it. It is a great pleasure to be back here for the 5th annual Burbank Police Awards Luncheon, hosted by the Burbank Police Foundation. Today we will recognize and honor the bravery, service, hard work, and contributions of the men and women of the Burbank Police Department and members of our Burbank community, the best police department in the nation, I might add. You know it firsthand, absolutely. And before we get to our first award, I'd like to take a moment, though, to remember and pay our respect to retired Burbank Police Chief Glenn Bell, who passed away on January 10th of this year at the age of 87, a long and wonderful life. Glenn Bell was a longtime Burbank resident and a veteran of the United States Navy. After joining the Burbank Police Department in 1955, he was promoted through the ranks before being appointed to the office of Chief of Police in December of 1982. Under Chief Bell's command, the Burbank Police Department implemented several technological advancements like computerized report writing, upgraded the radio systems, the initiation of the police helicopter program, and gang detail also occurred during his tenure as chief. Chief Bell was highly respected, received numerous accolades and commendations throughout his career. He was known for holding Burbank police officers to the highest level of professionalism, and he was instrumental in the development of the modern policing standards that are still in existence today. Chief Bell served as the Chief of Police until his retirement in 1990. So please join me in a moment of silence in memory of retired Burbank Police Chief Glenn Bell. Thank you very much. Well, it's time for our first award of the afternoon, so would Burbank Police Jailer Kirk Davis please come to the stage? In November of 2018, an inmate was in custody in the Burbank jail for domestic violence. The arrestee was very uncooperative and made suicidal statements, warranting close observation by Jailer Davis. Normally, cell checks of suicidal inmates are conducted about every 15 minutes, but on this day, Jailer Davis felt the inmate's behavior warranted more frequent checks. While conducting his first cell check just minutes after booking, Jailer Davis saw that the man had tightened one of his shirt sleeves around his neck and the other he had tied to a faucet. In an obvious suicide attempt, Jailer Davis sprang into action, summoning help and entering the cell to intervene. He quickly repositioned the inmate, allowing the tension around his neck to loosen, and once paramedics arrived, it was determined the inmate suffered only minor injuries. Jailer Davis's diligence and quick response prevented what would have almost certainly been the death of an inmate while in custody. His tenacity in rescuing this inmate from his demise has earned Jailer Davis the Burbank Police Life-Saving Medal. Congratulations, and thank you very much. Our next award involves another story of a life-saving effort with Sergeant Jamal Childs. Please come forward. Not only being the tallest man in the world, prove it. Burbank police officers are trained to react in dire circumstances. On December 20th, 2018, Sergeant Childs was on duty when he saw a man climb over a railing high above the I-5 freeway and take a seat on a freeway sign. Sergeant Childs knew the man's safety and the safety of the motorists below were in danger. And believing the man was about to jump to his death and knowing he only had seconds to intervene, Sergeant Childs quickly grabbed the man, pulled him back over the railing to safety. Several onlookers who later wrote to the police department recognizing his efforts witnessed Sergeant Childs' actions. The man saved was now able to get the help he so desperately needed. Sergeant Childs' quick, courageous, and decisive actions not only saved a human life, but have also earned him the Burbank Police Life-Saving Medal. Sergeant Childs, congratulations. Nicely done. Now we're going to ask the members of the Burbank Police Department gang unit to please come to the stage. We have to be out of here by 1:30. I'm just kidding. Man, I gotta remember, these are cops. In recent years, an increase in gang-related violence and graffiti was an unwelcomed reminder of the importance of staffing police officers who are trained in specialized gang enforcement in order to quickly and safely respond to calls for service involving gang members, provide an increased presence in the neighborhoods prone to gang activity, and to investigate crimes committed by gang members. Since 2016, officers Dustin Rodriguez, Harry Markey, Paul French, Corey Sheffalo, Aaron Denning, and Pietro Pira have all been assigned as gang officers, while still maintaining patrol staffing levels. Collectively, their primary responsibilities have been to identify and document new and current gang members, while providing street-level enforcement to deter and prevent gang-related crimes that involve graffiti and violence, and improving the quality of life in our beloved community. Now, since June of 2016, the combined efforts of these gang officers has resulted in multiple arrests and contacts, which have had a profound impact on gang activity in Burbank. And these numbers speak for themselves. How many of you are there? 6 of you? Is that right, roughly? 83% reduction in gang graffiti reports. Over 600 arrests. This one gives me goosebumps. Over 40 recovered illegal firearms. The Burbank Police Department gang officers standing before you today are to be commended for their dedication, their bravery, and their hard work, which has resulted in a significant decrease in gang-related crime. Unfortunately, Officer Pira and Officer Denning could not join us today, but the efforts of this team has earned all of them Burbank Police Professional Esteem Award. Congratulations. You already got him, Ross? Man, you were efficient. Would Richard Lockyer, the Traffic Signal Operations Specialist for the City of Burbank, please come forward? He's right behind you, sir. Now, police investigations often rely on camera technology and require expertise and knowledge in the use of that technology. On a frequent basis, Richard Lockyer is called upon by investigators of the Burbank Police Department to assist in assessing and reviewing footage from various traffic cameras mounted throughout our city. I didn't know there were traffic cameras mounted throughout this. In 2018 alone, Richard helped with over 500 investigations involving traffic cameras. He has devoted countless hours sifting through camera footage, providing investigators with leads to help apprehend and convict suspects who prey on innocent victims. Richard Lockyer's dedication and willingness to help has been the linchpin to success for dozens of police investigations. In recognition of his contributions, Richard Lockyer has earned the Burbank Police Professional Esteem Award. And a year's supply of Visine, staring at those screens all the time. I don't know if you got the Visine or not. That was... Congratulations, sir. Next, I would like to invite everyone involved in the development and implementation of the Daily Field Activity Report System up to the stage. In 2015, the Burbank Police Department recognized the need for an enhanced system to document all patrol-related activities. The concept of a modern automated tool to replace an archaic pen and paper log was put into motion. The project was spearheaded by Lieutenant John Fromer, who had the difficult job of ensuring that the system would be compatible with the existing CAD system, the Computer-Aided Dispatch System. Over the next 2 years, a team of dedicated employees with various areas of expertise joined the effort in developing and implementing a new electronic patrol log. This team consisted of crime analyst Ken Panyu and volunteer Elaine Stevens, who acted as liaisons between patrol officers and City Information Technology Department, also the computer system representatives. Both contributed countless hours to the project while outside of normal office hours. Also joining the efforts were City of Burbank Information Technology members Jason Miller, Garen Essakanian, and Savan Kachatourians, who installed the new formatted log onto desktop computers throughout the entire department and on mobile patrol car computers, outfitting the entire fleet. After testing and completion, the new automated patrol log was launched and deemed completely functional in under 5 weeks. The new system now provides a more accurate account of field activity, providing supervisors with real-time information and analysis and prohibiting officers from hiding. No, that's not on here. The team members responsible for the success of this project are being recognized today for their vision, dedication, initiative, and teamwork. Each member performed in an exceptional manner, earning the esteem of fellow employees and the public, and for that, they are all recipients of the Burbank Police Professional Esteem Award. And now I'd like to ask Mr. Jay Bogan to come forward to the stage. The Burbank Police Department relies on partnerships with the community in its mission to protect life and property and provide professional police services. Many times, the private citizens within our community assist police officers in the successful outcome of an incident. On the morning of June 19, 2018, an elderly man was attacked inside Burger King in Burbank. The violent attack was completely random and unprovoked, as a suspect entered the busy restaurant armed with a knife and began stabbing the victim in the face. Inside the restaurant at the time of the attack was Mr. Jay Bogan, who was with 4 students from a local youth center. Without hesitation, Mr. Bogan rushed to the victim's aid and intervened, placing his own safety at risk. Mr. Bogan struck the suspect with a chair before wrestling him to the ground in an attempt to disarm the knife. While struggling on the ground, Mr. Bogan was finally able to disarm the suspect and control him until police arrived. Fortunately, Mr. Bogan suffered only minor injuries. The victim was transported to a local hospital suffering from numerous stab wounds in his face and neck. Luckily, he did survive that attack thanks to Mr. Bogan. Mr. Bogan selflessly risked his own life to help others. His quick and brave actions not only saved the victim's life, but potentially many other lives inside that restaurant on that day. Mr. Bogan's act of heroism and bravery is being recognized today here with the presentation of the Burbank Police Citizens Award. I know he doesn't remember, but I covered that story, so I actually had a microphone in his face for a couple of seconds there. He was so humble about it, and his really, what he said was, isn't that something everyone should do, help out like that? So, selfless and wonderful. Thank you very much. The Burbank Police Department is fortunate to have a group of dedicated volunteers who work hard in a variety of assignments and provide help to both sworn and civilian employees. The chief was talking about this combination earlier. In 2018, Burbank Police volunteers collectively donated nearly 4,000 hours to the department. Would all of the Burbank Police volunteers in attendance today please come forward onto the stage? Each volunteer here today contributes greatly to the daily operations of the police department. We will now honor them by presenting the President's Volunteer Service Awards. In the bronze level, these are recognizing volunteers who donated between 100 and 249 hours are Ann White, Jackie Light, Linda Trecconi, and Sunny Singer.
Okay, can we all come to the line, please?
Service awards on the silver level for volunteer service hours of 250 to 499, John Kremerer and Ted Schoenlaw. And finally, the gold level award recognizing volunteers who provided over 500 hours of service in 1 week. No, I'm kidding. The recipients of the Gold Award for 2018 are Elaine Stevens and Kay Norris. Did you get them all there, Ross?
I did that.
All right. Congratulations to all of our police volunteers, and thank you for your service. It is truly appreciated. Thank you. But Kay, if Kay Norris could hang on. Yeah, everybody else can leave, but Kay Norris has to stay. She's in a lot of trouble. Kay Norris, recipient of the Gold Service Award, has served the Burbank Police Department as a volunteer since 2007. Kay has consistently arrived to work with a smile and a giving heart, ready to take on whatever tasks are assigned to her. Kay, a native Californian, was a school teacher with the Los Angeles Unified School District for 35 years and was recognized for having perfect attendance during her entire teaching career. I know. I don't remember the past 35 years if I was absent anywhere or not. As a police volunteer, Kay has most recently served the Traffic Bureau by answering phones, managing requests from the City Attorney's Office, the Treasurer's Office, and helping the Citation Management Department. Kay's colleagues look forward to the days that she volunteers. They call them Kay Days. Her motto, no matter where she's assigned, her motto is service with a smile. Kay volunteered 515 hours to the police department in 2018, while also donating volunteer hours to several other organizations and ministries in Burbank. Kay's generosity with her time, her drive, and commitment to the Burbank Police Department is deserving of recognition. It is our pleasure to present to you, Kay Norris, the 2018 Burbank Police Department Volunteer of the Year Award. Kay's other motto is, you can't fire a volunteer. So I'll shut up now, I promise. The Burbank Police Department is an organization comprised of both sworn and non-sworn civilian employees. Each year, one civilian employee is distinguished as the non-sworn employee of the year. Would Helen Kowach please come forward? Helen joined the Burbank Police Department in 2009 as a police technician. She serves as the liaison between Burbank PD and the Superior Court. Her duties include maintaining all the entries for the department's restraining order records while also supporting the court subpoena office. Helen was instrumental in the transition to a new electronic paperless subpoena process. Really? No more handing up somebody a paper saying you've been served? No more of that, huh? Just open your mail. You've been served. The new system presented numerous challenges, but Helen's determination, patience, and focus was critical to its success and implementation. Throughout her tenure, Helen has earned admiration and respect from her colleagues in the Superior Court system and the Burbank City Attorney's Office. Helen has been described as knowledgeable, responsive, easily approachable, and reliable. Helen's strong work ethic and professionalism demonstrates her commitment to the city of Burbank and the Burbank Police Department. She is this year's Burbank Police Non-Sworn Employee of the Year. Helen, congratulations. We are on to our final award now, the Burbank Police Department's Officer of the Year honor. Would K-9 Officer John Embleton please come to the stage? Officer John Embleton began his career with the Burbank Police Department in 2005 after transferring from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. He has been assigned as one of Burbank's police K-9 handlers since the year 2010. His current partner is K-9 Bram. Is Bram here? In the car, sir. In the car. It's a number to PETA, I think. I'm kidding. John has always demonstrated a relentless work ethic and positive attitude in serving the citizens of Burbank. He leads by example through proactive police work and crime prevention. John is a member of the department's SWAT team and works hard to find ways to help fellow officers improve their tactics. In 2018, Officer Embleton was on duty traveling to a police training along the I-5 freeway when he came upon a traffic collision. Officer Embleton stopped to render assistance and learned that one of the vehicles involved in that collision was wanted in connection with a homicide that occurred just hours earlier in the Sacramento area. After requesting assistance, the driver of the vehicle fled on foot. Officer Embleton chased the suspect and was able to apprehend him. The suspect was identified as the person who was wanted for that murder. Officer Embleton exemplifies the role of a public servant and works selflessly to serve the community. His work and dedication reflects positively on the law enforcement profession and also the Burbank Police Department. Please join us in recognizing and congratulating the recipient of the 2018 Burbank Police Officer of the Year Award, K-9 Officer John Embleton. Once again, everyone, please join me in a round of applause for all of our award recipients this afternoon. As you all have heard today, these employees, volunteers, and citizens have made remarkable achievements and provided outstanding service to our community. On behalf of the men and women of the Burbank Police Department, the Burbank Police Foundation, And on behalf of all of us who live in this beautiful city, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us here today to celebrate these achievements. And thank you for your service. I look forward to next year, hopefully, if they can edit out some of these comments, and once again pay tribute to those who are truly making a difference in our community. Congratulations to everyone, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jim, for being here today and for being an exemplary community member, for taking time out of your busy schedule to help us honor and recognize our outstanding employees, volunteers, and community members for their heroism, bravery, professionalism, and hard work. Let's give Jim one more round of applause. Thank you. Okay, so that's about it. So as president of the Burbank Police Foundation, I would like to thank you all for attending our 5th annual Burbank Police Awards Luncheon. Thank you to our many sponsors for making this event possible, and to all those who graciously took an officer to lunch. Thank you also to the Marriott Burbank and in particular the amazing event staff who have been so accommodating and gracious. It's been a pleasure working with you. And a very big thank you to my fellow committee members who helped plan today's event. Please stand and be recognized for your hard work. Sherry Nakamura, I don't know where everybody's sitting, Leslie Borghese, Anita Hutchinson, J.G. Puglisi, Derek Green, Sergeant Derek Green, and Linda Gregorian, and Sal, who stepped in at the last moment. Thank you for that. And finally, oh yes, nobody stood, but let's give them a round of applause. Sorry. And finally, a very special thank you to our Chief of Police, Scott Lachaz, and his command staff, along with all of the men and women of the Burbank Police Department who work tirelessly on the job and then give even more of themselves to work alongside us in the community. We look forward to seeing everyone here again next year for our 6th annual Police Awards Luncheon. Until then, thank you and have a great rest of your day.